right now I'm not really feeling creative creating some music, and there are some things that studio YouTubers don't really talk about. There are some things that are quite uncommon, and maybe it's not really fancy to talk about, but let me just address 4 topics I really want to share with you. Is currently my situation. So let me walk through it and then explain you how this relates to my situation. One thing is like, let's talk about connectivity. So let me arrange my ideas from nice to verse. So one thing is connectivity, and by connectivity I really mean technical connectivity. My whole studio is basically built around the idea that I push a button, and then with this button I'm able to play music. This is really the aim and the intention of the studio, that I can click a button and I'm able to play around on my keyboards. I click another button and then my PA turns on and the keyboards and I don't know what else. This is why I have my mixer set up here like it is. They're not for the mix down process, they're really just input mixers, so that everything, all the stuff I have in here, I can play without the computer and without my audio interface. So I know this is quite luxury, and maybe you're in the situation with having a laptop and then you turn on your DAW, you plug in your audio interface, and then you plug in your synthesizer and the MIDI keyboard. So it's already 5 steps. Then an update comes in from your operating system, then your DAW wants to update, then there's a new plugin available from your whatever plugin, and then your antivirus software hits in because you're on Windows, and you're already thousands clicks away of having your idea and turning it and getting it into the DAW, into the computer. So try to avoid this, and this is what I mean by real connectivity. Try to avoid everything that is hesitating you from creating music and having the technology in between, but it should be really literally 1 click away, or 10 clicks, or at least as clicks as possible, whatever is possible for you. So think of that. Once you're able to record stuff and you can do that and you're quite motivated with recording things, imagine someone is poking you and approaching you and asking, hey, you're making music, so can you send something to me? What do you do? I don't know, yeah, give me a week or so, I have to produce a song or whatever, or it's not finished yet or so. That's wrong. I don't get it, but not really many people are talking about this. You have to be ready. If someone is asking you, can you show me something? And it's not a label, it's not an A&R manager, or it's just your friend or your family or your colleague. Happened to me today. Can you show me something? And I said, yeah, of course I can. On the one hand, send my YouTube channel, I can send the music, I'm on Spotify, I can share my, I don't know, webpage, whatever, I'm ready to show stuff. And I tell you, I wasn't so for years. And I know many people who are not that either. So they don't have beats available. If someone is asking, then can you show me your latest stuff, what you're doing? They're not there. So always be prepared with your stuff and always have something by hand, even if it's not finished. And why is that so important? There are moments like I am currently in. I'm not so really motivated doing stuff, or whatever reasons are there, but at least I want to show up. I want to be able to connect to people. So I need stuff finished, or at least stuff in a shape that I can share with people. Think about this availability. But just when it comes to availability, you know, I turned on here my studio and lights and placed the camera and whatever, and I started to jam around on my JX3P, and it sucked. It literally sucked. There was some noise, some cracking, and I thought, oh my god, so now this keyboard is breaking down, this old analog stuff is breaking down. Oh my god, what am I doing now? So this was demotivating me even further, even more, doing things. So having, you know, cables, wires and hardware, old keyboards and so on is a pain. Everyone is saying like, oh my gosh, you need this old vintage stuff, whatever. It's so amazing, awesome. It has mojo. But the reality is it keeps you away from actually doing things. I have stuff and gear and hardware, and I'm a software guy basically, but I think the balance is the key. You have to think like, okay, everything that surrounds me, it's nice to have. I like to jam on it. On the other hand, I like to have the reliability of software. I trust in software. I trust in the computer and my DAW, in my system, that actually it brings results. But the hardware and the outboard gear is it's the nice thing to have. It's basically the one that like brings you serendipity effect, for example, such a keyword. But do not rely on it. And I promise you, all the stuff I have in here and wires and everything, it's just so much extra work you have to put in. But everyone on YouTube tells you like, oh my god, you need all this extra hardware stuff. That's wrong. Keep in mind, the answer is always more complex than you think. What I just said about hardware, you can summarize in reliability and how it avoids you from doing the things. I guess now most viewers will skip what I'm going to say, but it's about reliability. Usually when I'm in contact with musicians and people that claim to be musicians and want to make some beats and music, they say like, awesome, yeah, I'm so whatever, right? You don't have time pressure, right? Don't hesitate, any time. I have to be creative. I have to wait for the right moment. But the reality is there is no right moment to be creative. The truth is, and this is proven by science what I'm saying now, the truth is, you have to be precisely on the same spot in the same date. By this I mean, you have to do, like, just if you do sports, you have to be repetitive. You need an interval. You have to repeat what you're doing. And you're going to have good moments and bad moments. But the key is to actually come up and show up regularly. So I have some appointments here in my sound studio and I'll be here. I invest my time in here, and whatever it is, either it's like, I don't know, maybe jamming around on my keyboards, maybe it's about getting some songs to another level, to the next level, maybe it's just and you see this in my YouTube shorts, by the way, jamming around a little bit and discovering some songs. Maybe it's working on the infrastructure and getting some cables right and fixing some issues, some technical issues I have, or updating my software, or whatever I have to do on my computer. But I spend my time in here and I try to achieve something, or at least I can say I tried it. But don't wait for this moment to being touched by gods and by whatever, and then you're like famous and someone will find you and so on. That's just not how it's going to work. I strongly believe in this. This is really like the majority of people disagrees here with me. You have to be here and you have to be there. Famous HP from Scooter saying like he doesn't believe if you want to make a career in music, it's a full-time job. Yeah, there's some point in there. On the other hand, I believe we also can do this, let's say part-time or as a hobby or however you want to have, and still find your way, but stick to that. Try to, even if it's your hobby, try to make it as professional as possible and don't rely on the gods touching you and then having the right moment. So I think now you skipped away already, but if not, give me a like and maybe share your thoughts on this, what I was just saying, because it really means a lot to me. I'm also right now in this phase. If I apply this to me, my current situation is the following. Okay, we had Christmas, right? And now it's January, but now I come up with some reasons why I'm not so productive. It's because basically lots of things happening in my all-day job. On the other hand, I'm focusing currently on some personal things that just matter to me, which is out of context of creating music and my family life. I was really distracted I am really distracted by the stuff like building my best bass traps and the panels and whatever stuff. But on the other hand, I gave the commitment here on YouTube, right? Telling you, by the way, now I am doing more fancy stuff here. And the time I have to cut off of making music. This is also the reality. And yes, I'm kind of pissed off that still it's taking half a year now. And I'm still working on this studio. But on the other hand, this really is fun. If I'm in the workshop and cutting some stuff with wood and doing some things with wood, that's fun. And it actually integrates into my studio. So I should not blame myself with creating, this extra thing, the extra dimension that I haven't done before, and now having here in my studio life. I should not blame myself for creating less music. It will come soon. I'm pretty sure, because then I will have my studio finished more or less at least, and then I can focus more on making beats and everything. So think about this and maybe think of your situation, and I'm pretty sure that I'm getting out of this valley, because this is not the first time that this happened to me. It's totally normal, that's life. And I think you're also having such a situation. And I think once upon a time, you're also going to have or had already such a situation, and share it with me, please. I would love to read your stories. Talk to you soon. Bye.